Watch this entire video to the end, and then, click on the links in the description below for more information. Why are there witches? Working magic, keep in mind, you will be bound to what you bind. Take on any task you will, but be prepared to pay the bill. Few naturally talented musicians seek or find success in the fields of mathematics and science. However, scientists and mathematicians boast a large number of accomplished musicians among their ranks. It seems that learning something about the nature of vibration and the behavior of numbers translates well to music. It is equally true that those accomplished in magic are attracted to music and its literary cousin, poetry, as well as the sciences. Historically, the secret societies dedicated to the practice of ceremonial magic filled their ranks with the accomplished scientists of their day, who saw no conflict between the two disciplines. The earliest witches most certainly used the scientific method of analysis routinely to discover and record all manner of information, from predicting the weather to preparing herbal medicines. It may seem odd that something that describes itself as a religion sets so much store by scientific principles and the power of observation. Religion is typically a matter of faith, with precepts not to be questioned by the flock. Wicca owes its origin to humankind's efforts to control and predict environmental forces in order to survive. The first witches were individuals who possessed the necessary skills to enhance the chances for the continuity of the species. There was absolutely no place for nonsense in the life of the earliest Homo sapiens. The penalties for indulging in superfluous activities were death and extinction. Not until much later in human history did religious rules and regulations become a matter of faith. With the progress of human culture came dogma that may have its roots in ancient rules of survival no longer valid for the modern believers who adhere to these tenets as a means of demonstrating their faith, clearly showing that the spiritual needs of humankind do not begin and end with avoiding catastrophe. In its purest state, Wicca has few rules and no dogma. Almost everything you will learn within the craft will be in the form of examples and suggestions, and you will frequently be advised to seek out what has meaning to you personally. You are responsible for your own spiritual journey. Only you can know what path it should take. You will learn right from wrong the hard way, so pay attention. In Wicca, the highest position you can attain is that of servant, for that's what we all once were. To master the craft is to achieve a status that allows you to most effectively help those around you through every deed, magical and mundane. You are your own priest. Your way is right for you and not the only true faith for some larger group. Wicca has no sheep, only wolves. We are social animals, but we are individually strong and capable. All this emphasis on solitary practice is not meant to downplay the role of covens. The most successful covens tend to be composed of practitioners who find strength and support within groups of like-minded people. The coven is a working group of witches, not a congregation that adheres to some common dogma. While covens may be established along certain traditional lines such as Celtic, Gardnerian, or Dianic, these labels are typically meant to attract members who share the rudiments of that tradition with respect to ritual methods and ethnic heritage. The role of the coven is to provide strength in numbers for magical work and to act as a forum for the exchange of ideas and experiences among individuals. Covens also initiate new members and teach the skills required to move along the Wiccan path of spiritual development. They may provide a ranking system that measures the progress of each member. Typically, ascending in rank obligates one to further service within the coven and without. A high priest or priestess, or elder is a repository of information that can be accessed by any coven member. Achieving rank does not mean an automatic increase in authority, only responsibility. Leadership requires respect from the coven members, and this respect is won through deeds that serve the coven and the community. Authoritarianism has no place in the craft. Most witches are far too independent to obey any leader without good reason. In a coven, you can usually tell who holds the highest rank. It's whoever appears to be doing the most work. The true strength of a coven in magical practice is that the members bring different talents to a task. A member who may be weak at some skill can entrust that portion of the work to someone who is more adept. It may be that divination has never been easy for you, no matter what method you have tried. You know what spell you would like to perform but cannot clearly assess its possible repercussions. The chances are excellent that someone in the coven will find divination very easy and can provide you with the information you seek. Another typical scenario is that some task may require contact with a number of archetypes, deities, or forces. Most witches identify closely with certain of these correspondences and not with others as a matter of personal preference. By combined effort, a coven can utilize a great many more of these entities and energies, thus increasing the chance for success. One of the most rewarding aspects of coven life for even the most ardent solitary practitioner is that they have the numbers necessary to act out the rituals marking the wheel of the year. I can say from personal experience that the words and charges associated with these sabbats sparkle with life when you see them performed. It is the difference between reading Shakespeare and seeing the play. You should be cautioned, however, about sharing your power and maintaining the secrecy of your work. These rules apply equally to the solitary practitioner and to coven members. It is not necessary to share every thought with your fellow coven members to solicit their help. Merely state the goal you hope to reach and allow each individual to help in their own ways in keeping with their particular talents. Think of the process as linking several batteries in series to produce a combined electrical force. The batteries need not be identical, just compatible. One final word about covens. Humans being essentially social animals, it is always comforting to know you are not the only one who thinks the way you do. A coven is an excellent support group, even for those witches who may want to continue solitary practice. The frustration of having no sounding board can be stifling, especially if no member of your family shares your philosophy. Even if your conversational forays into the otherworld are tolerated, and they often are not, by family and friends, you may begin to feel that you are attempting to teach calculus to your dog. There are many alternatives to contacting a coven for those who are seeking instruction or exchange of information. Online computer services, pagan periodicals, and regional gatherings all provide forums for Wicca, as do a number of correspondence courses in various aspects of the craft. Beware those who may use these formats as a bully pulpit to increase their own status at the expense of the truth. To become recognized as an authority on Wicca has its economic benefits. October is not known as Rent a Witch month for nothing, and nothing soothes the ego like a good dose of praise from one's peers. Anyone who claims to be the one and only guardian of true Wicca isn't. Wicca has no pope. Keep an open mind and heart. You'll know the truth when you hear it. When in doubt, meditate on the Fool from the tarot deck. Maintain a positive attitude, but watch out for that cliff. As you interact with others that share your beliefs, it may seem that the need for secrecy that surrounds Wicca has become outdated. After all, there are television specials throughout October that feature any number of witches explaining the craft and its basic tenets. Talk shows abound in guests dressed in black and waving wands. That the media has helped to spread the word that witches are not evil, Satanist hags bent on destroying Christianity cannot be denied, and those Wiccans who have risked much to appear in public to dispel old prejudices deserve the highest praise. But before you go running down the street shouting, "I'm a witch, tee-hee," or decide to impress your friends at some dinner party by revealing to them that they have a witch in their presence, remember that animosity dies hard. The burning times were not so very long ago, and there are certainly those that would welcome their return. You need only to recall the violence directed at some clinics to learn that there are people in this world whose personal religious and philosophical convictions justify the destruction of perceived enemies of the faith by any means. At the very least, you may find yourself pigeonholed among your closest friends and family as a bit of a kook, and, therefore, not to be taken seriously. The itch for recognition of what makes us special is in all of us. Please trust that, as you progress in the craft, you will find the inner rewards far more satisfying than any you might gain by sharing your secret. An old adage from a Celtic book of shadows states in an initiation ritual that a sheep does not show the shepherd how well it has eaten by disgorging food at his feet, but by growing rich, thick wool. As for those who may need your help, have no doubt that they will find you, though they may not realize why they sought you out or what it is that they have found. A witch tends through everyday living to be identified as a caring, helpful person whose actions indicate a level of intelligence and wisdom that draws those in need to seek advice. Eventually, you will find that you are being asked for your opinion on all sorts of matters, particularly those involving health and well-being, whether psychological or physical. Your very commitment to Wicca will lead you to people who need your help. Witches are apt to look for trouble, and there is never a shortage of it. Have no fear that your talents will go unused. You may find yourself so busy that you will develop a deep appreciation for the efforts of the ancients to use magic to bend time just to get a break and some much-needed rest. Help, but don't meddle. The path a person is traveling may seem entirely wrong to you, but you must restrain yourself from interfering. Even the most negative behavior may have to run its course. Life's lessons are learned in mysterious ways, and you are not omniscient. If you have offered to help and been refused, let it go for now. Don't storm off in a huff and don't feel you know better than to hold back your aid. Above all, refrain from criticism, constructive or otherwise. Keep your observations to yourself. Do not stir the pot with idle gossip born of an all-knowing attitude. Get more information on witchcraft, spells, and magic by clicking on the resource links below in the description. Make sure that you like and share this video. Click the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Visit us at witchcraftmagic.com and sign up for weekly freebies. Thanks for watching.